Hello everyone, this is Hodora and welcome back to Chaos Zero Nightmare. Today we are gonna talk about all of the signature partner or exclusive partner for our 5-star combatants. You might curious why are we talking about them? Isn't those a whale only option? Well, not exactly. If you play this game long enough and if you pull the gacha enough, everyone have a chance to get couple, maybe more than that, depending on how long you play, right? Of this signature partner, right? You just need to correct this thing that called Moment of Radiant Hero for 300 of them, and you can exchange for one of these girl or guy, I don't think that is a guy. One of these girls once a month you can get all of them, but one per unit, alright? And 300 is not that much if you ask me. And this is far better than use this to exchange for your pool ticket, right? Even though it's quite enticing to just pool more, but come on, 300 gonna give you what? 30 pools? What are you gonna get from that? 3 4-star, 3 random 4-star. If you're lucky you might get something else, but it's better to just correct them and use to get at least signature partner for your favorite 5-star, and then after that maybe get the dupe for your favorite 5-star. Who knows? And how to get this moment? Well, if you go to the gacha, every time you get a dupe either from 4-star or 5-star, you're gonna get a certain amount of this radiance. For 5-star, if it's a dupe, you get 20. If the dupe of the character that already have max dupe, you're gonna get 50. And 20 also apply to the 5-star partner too. And for the 4-star, if you get a dupe, you get 4. If that dupe is already max, you get 10. And every 4-star partner, you also get 4. So at the worst, you're gonna get at least 4 radiant per 110 pool, because you're guaranteed to get 4-star, either it's gonna be a unit or a partner, right? So it shouldn't take that long. And of course, there is guarantee 5-star and everything else. So yeah, just hold on them and use them to correct enough. Not use them. Correct them enough and use them to exchange for the partner of your favorite 5-star, alright? And with all that yapping out of the way, let's start looking at all of this, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11. Right? 10 here. Oh, okay, let's look at this one then. No. Okay, fine, we're gonna go at the archive. We have 11 units, right? Ignore these 6 girls who are just there because they are 5-star from the battle pass. We're not gonna look at them. We're gonna look at our signature partner. The first one is Janet. Janet is the partner for Luke. Alright. So, as you can see here, I blocked this one. Let me move myself. Here should be fine. Alright. Her passive give just flat 9% increase in critical chance, which Luke really love because Luke whole kit revolve around him hitting the critical attack, right? So plus 9 critical hit chance on all of the attack card that cost 1 or lower. So most of his card is cost 1, but why lower? Because all of the bullet, right? All of these handgun bullets cost 0. So this cover both of his basic skill, his unique skill, and also the bullet itself. And when the assigned combatant use 5 bullet card, that count of this bullet and his basic attack too. you're gonna get +1 bullet from this support, not support, partner, and that +1 gonna generate not gonna get +5 damage. This is additive, so if the bullet do like 100% damage, it's gonna be 150. It's not much, it just add to the scaling of the skill, right? And for the eco skill, cost 3 eco point, do 150% damage to all enemy. This is good as it's a AoE to clear smaller mob. And for one turn, all of your bullet cost get +20. So like up a lot above, this is additive. So if you have 100%, it's gonna be 120. Well, 100% might not be good example. If you have 80%, it's gonna add 20 and it become 100, something like that. Yeah, this is for Luke. Next is Zeta. Zeta is exclusive for Caribe. And if you don't know why it's exclusive, well, read her passive. All of the defense-based damage from instinct card increased by 15%. Who have defense-based damage and are instinct in this game right now? Only Caribe. And another thing to be considered, this is not additive, this is multiplicative. So it's gonna scale quite nicely if your attack already have high scaling, which Caribe have that. And also +20, 25% to defense-based damage and shield. Defense-based damage and shield, but it has to be heaven. This is a little bit of bad localization. This basically is talk about the celestial keyword, right? Which Caribe also have that. Yeah, it's one. When using a card that calls to a higher activate, this is celestial, and in this one it's called heaven for whatever reason. And that is her passive, and you can see is fine-tuned to make Caribe really strong. Alright. And for the eco skill cost 2, do a 200% defense based damage to one unit, I guess. Yeah, to one unit, and draw one highest cost card from the deck. This gonna be quite easy to tutor any of the 3 cost cards for Caribe, I assume. So yeah, really nice, really nice. Next one is Briar. I think Briar is for, let me see. Briar is for Heron. Yeah. So her passive is that when the combatant, the unit generate a card, attack card damage increased by 10% for one turn. This is again multiplicative, not additive. Can stack up to 3 times. So if you generate 3 cards, it's gonna be 30%, right? And another line is that when the combatant generate a status ailment card for the first time, +25, this is additive to attack to all attack card for one turn. Status ailment, and you know only one character who do that, which is Kieran. He gonna generate, I think it's called fertility, which count as a status ailment card and also count as an attack and a healing. So it's quite strong with all this, right? And for her eco skill cost 3. From the discard pile, exhaust all of the status ailment card in there, and also a curse card, which is something most units have a hard time dealing with, right? And for each card that exalted, plus 10 to the attack card of Charon for one turn. So if you exalt 9, you're gonna get 90 since there is no cap here. If you exalt 10, 15, you're gonna get plus 150% to all of Charon attack card for one turn. Really nice, really nice. Hello. Next one is Kiara. Kiara is for... should be for Lenore, I think. Yeah. Because she also appears in her trauma code. So for her passive, if there are 10 or more cards in the graveyard, the combatant attack card damage increased by 15%. And when the assigned combatant discard a card, which Lenore do is quite often, plus 25% attack card damage for one turn. This is interesting because it's not the first time, right? It's gonna proc all the time. And I don't know if this can stack or not because discard a card. But what happens if we discard 3 cards is that plus 75%. Who know? Who know? But yeah, she gonna make Lenore so strong with all these passive that purely increase damage, both at the additive and multiplicative, right? And for her signature ego skill called 3, deal 200% damage to one unit and plus 20% to the base scaling equal to the number of the card in your graveyard. If your graveyard is quite big, for example, if it's like 15, this card will do 15 times 20 if 300. It will do 500% damage to one unit. Quite nice, quite nice. But Lenore herself already really strong single target DPS. With this, she gonna just melt people, I guess. Okay, next is Scarlet. I believe Scarlet is for... right, I think Scarlet is for Melin. Let me check. We have 2, Scarlet and Mariana. Okay, Scarlet is not for Melin. Scarlet is for Lin. So, her passive is really long. For the passive, let's look at this. If a card used immediately before what form the assigned combatant, plus 15% to attack card, stack up to 2 times and easily move each another combatant card is used. Yeah, this really align with Lin's whole game plan, right? Because if you don't know, Lin's game plan is try to use as many of her cards as possible consecutively to boost her ultimate card or something like that, right? So yeah, it's gonna be, sadly it's additive, right? So it's gonna be at most 30% on the attack card. Second line, when assigned combatant use 2 or more cards, they gain focus. And focus is that attack card damage of assigned combatant increased by 20%. This is multiplicative, not additive, I think. and its when trigger reduced by 1. But remove focus when another combatant card in use. Really hard to utilize, but also as hard as Rin Kid herself. But if you are Rin fan, of course you should be pretty proficient in utilizing her, so I assume this gonna be really good. I never tried Rin before, and I don't think I want to try her at all from looking of this kid. And next is her Ego skill. Cost 3 to 50 damage and plus 10 for each combatant skill attack skill that were used. No. What is that? Combatant attack card damage per buff own? Plus 10. Oh, okay. 250, this is just the damage. And then you get a buff that give you plus 10 to all of the combatant attack card, in this case Rin attack card, per buff own. So if you have 3 buff, it's gonna be plus 30. If you have 5 buff, it's gonna be plus 50. Additive, of course. So it's quite nice. Just use it before you use all of the Rin card, and that should be pretty big damage. Alright. And now this time, Marianne. Surprisingly, this is for Melin. This is a signature card for Melin. So, the passive is really straightforward. Assign combatant damage to breakthrough. This is basically ravage, which is basically fury break enemy, right? So damage to the break enemy increased by 15% multiplicative, and all of the combatant basic card away apply weak point damage and plus 5% to the weak point damage advantage. So it's gonna make Melin all of her attack card, not attack but basic card, gonna be our hit weakness, which is really strong, and make Melin can go into any stage and doesn't care about enemy element at all. And I believe Melin kit is revolved around her spamming basic cards, so this is really nice. Yeah, lavish. It's a breakthrough here, but it's a lavish here. They should change this eventually, I hope. Sadly, her ego skill is kinda not as good, right? Stay forward. Cost 3, deal 350% damage to one unit. Whatever. But the passive. This passive make Melin so strong. Oh damn. Everyone who have Melin or use Melin as a favorite 5-star, you should get this partner. 100% you should get this. And you can allocate your epiphany for something else that is not weakness, right? Next is Tina. Tina, surprisingly, is a signature card for Hugo. As you can see here, order attribute extra attack damage increased by 15%. So that only applies to Hugo right now because he is the only one who have this attribute and this condition. And also plus 25% extra damage from targeting attack card. Which, if I remember correctly, Hugo only have single target attack skill. So this basically apply to all of his skill that can proc extra attack. Right. Pretty simple. Just 2 lines of passive, and her skill costs 2 to draw 1 and increase combatant extra attack damage by 30% for 1 turn. Very simple, and cost only 2, and give you a draw and also increase Hugo damage by 30%. Really good card for Hugo. Sadly, I don't think many people is a fan of Hugo, so not many people gonna try to get Tina, I guess. But yeah, if you're a fan of Hugo, this is his card. Next is Asteria. Asteria is Haru signature card. So her passive is give Haru attack card that costs 2 or more plus 25% damage and plus 10% damage if that card is also powerized, which I think all of the big hitter from Haru have powerized in them. If you don't know powerized tagline, basically increase 20% damage when enemy have shield. Additive, of course, not multiplicative, sadly. But yeah, plus 35. Sadly, is a plus. It's not. It's additive, not multiplicative. So the value of the passive might be a little bit lower than maybe 4-star partner or the battle pass partner. But yeah, this works mostly on Haru alone, I think. But her ego skill is really good for Haru. Cost 2 plus 20% damage to the next attack card used by Haru for a total cost of all the cards in your hand. Max 10. So it's plus 20. So it's plus 200 to any of the cards Haru have. And if you have Epiphany that keep Haru anchor shot plus 1 hit, it's gonna get a lot from this, right? Instead of plus 200, it's gonna be plus 400, and that is a huge buff. But yeah, not as strong compared to, and you can see earlier, right? Marianne for Melin. This is so strong. But yeah, it's tradable. If your favorite Haru, maybe this is a good option. I'm not here to compare every partner card for you. I just gonna go through all of the signature partner for each 5-star unit, alright? And we are almost done. Next is Marin. Marin is a signature for Veronica. So her passive is all of the extra attack card, attack damage from the card that generated by the combatant, in this case Veronica, increased by 15%. So this will just focus on the ballista, right, for Veronica's skill. But it's multiplicative. Again, multiplicative is really good because most of the buff, general buff in the game is additive, right? And next line, when the assigned combatant use a skill card, which Veronica have more skill card than attack card anyway, plus 25% extra attack damage for 1 turn. And I assume this can stack. If Veronica use 3 skill cards, it's gonna be plus 75% to all of her ballista in the hand, which is really good. But that is rarely gonna happen because Veronica not gonna have that much card compared to the other 2 combatants. But yeah, it's something, and it's both multiplicative and additive, so the scaling gonna be quite nice when Veronica uses this, right? And I don't think there is any other ranger partner that give Veronica this much value. And for the ego skill cost 3, deal 200% damage to all enemy and draw 1 skill card. So it's a little bit of the tutor because it's only target skill card. And you can also check your deck before you use this, right? What skill card you have left in your deck at the moment. And if it's draw Veronica skill or any skill you want, that's good, right? And that is all for this. If you're a fan of Veronica, I really recommend this one. You don't need to look anywhere else. And lastly, no, not lastly, we have 2 left. Noel Noel is a signature for Aurea, and the passive is quite interesting. It gives plus 15 to Aurea damage, Aurea shield, and HP. I believe this is not HP. All of the Aurea retain card, which mostly just her creature, right? It's gonna be damage, it's gonna be shielding, and it's gonna be recovery, not just max HP. And at the end of the turn, deal fixed damage to all enemy equal to 15%, sorry, 15% of each retained card that Aurea have, plus 5 damage for enemy with instinct weakness. So Aurea should have 2 creature, maybe 3, so this is gonna be 45 or maybe 160, depend if the weakness is instinct or not. Fixed damage to all enemy. The good thing about fixed damage is that it's damage that ignore all of the buff and debuff. So if enemy have damage reduction, have whatever stack that reduce damage dealt, this will bypass all of that, right? So it's really good into the enemy that have a lot of defensive option. And it's just a passive damage, right? Because it's proc every end of the turn as long as Aurea have the retain card in her hand. So it's quite nice. Sadly, it doesn't increase any stat, it's mostly just for damage. And of course shield and heal. And for the ego skill, cost 3, heal 100%, and trigger return effect of all the card in the hand that is owned by Aurea, sadly. If this trigger all of the retain card, it's gonna be really amazing when you use Aurea with barrel. But if it's just as a combatant, then it's just for the creature that Aurea created, right? Yeah, and that is all for Noel. I believe if you want to use Aurea as a sub DPS and invest on her attack a little bit, this partner is quite nice for her. Otherwise, there is a 4-star option that also quite nice. If you don't know what I talk about, Arvel, right? Arvel also quite nice because she have damage reduction in her kit and also heal a lot more, right? Heal 200%. But yeah, if you want to make Aurea hit as hard as possible by using her Swifty, 3-star Swifty, and stacking a lot, this is the card for you. But if you want to use Aurea as a support, then maybe this is not the partner you want to exchange for. Alright, and last one, this might be the one I try to get. Erika. Erika is a signature partner for Magna. Really simple passive, right? Increase counter attack damage by 15%. This is multiplicative, so this gonna scale quite nicely for Magna. And when the assigned combatant use skill up it or upgrade card, there is 50% chance to gain a counter attack, which is quite alright because Magna ego skill scale damage for the total amount of counter attack she has. So it's fine if she had overflow with counter attack, right? As many as possible, and she gonna hit like 2 or 3,000 maybe. And for the ego skill, cost 2. Do an AoE defense based damage, get 1 counter, and if any of the enemy have anticipation or intention to attack you this turn, get another 1 counter. The counter is fine, but 20 defense based damage is quite nice for clearing them off, and it's only cost 2 ego point. So I feel like this is really good, and I gonna try to get not just one, because if I have the dupe for this, right, the scaling gonna increase. This also apply for all other partner. All these numbers that are orange, usually they will increase for getting a dupe, right? For example, Arwen start at 8. If I go here, I have 2 Arwen, if I remember correctly. Yeah. It's gonna increase to 9. Right? From 8 to 9 to 10, 11. Sadly, I don't have any 5-star to show this, and I don't think they allow me to look at that from the archive either. Yeah, there is no way to look at that. So yeah, if you're a Magna fan like me, Erika is your choice. Alright, and that is all for me today. Now you know what you want to hold your memory archive for, right? Not to trade for the pool ticket, either trade for dupe, but dupe is second priority. Maybe some character might prefer a dupe, but most importantly, try to get 5-star for your partner. 5-star partner for your 5-star unit, right? That's gonna be amazing. And gonna improve your favorite unit by quite a lot. At least 20% increase in performance can be expected if you get the signature partner, right? Alright, I hope you have fun playing video game. Good luck with your gacha, and see you again next time. For now, bye bye.